G'day champions! Hi, I'm Virginia, Senior Technical Officer in Screen Arts, and we're in the production studio here in Old Teachers College. Today I'm going to show you how to put a camera on a tripod safely. Alright, so today we're going to look at this Miller tripod. It's called the Solo, and these are available in the store through Mario to borrow for your projects. It's got two stages, so you can extend it with two levels, plus the legs also extend very wide with these clips here. So we'll go through it step by step. To extend the legs, release the screw mount slightly, pull the leg fully out, and I like to just push it back a tiny bit so we're not tightening right on the join of the extension. I'm also lowering the bottom legs first, which means that if I want to adjust the height, I still have this top leg portion to give me that added height that I need, and I don't have to reach down and adjust from the bottom stage. The idea of a tripod, it's a very fundamental form of supporting the camera and keeping the camera stable. With the video head, it offers you tilt and pan functions, which are not available through photo tripods. The other great function of this tripod is you can lower the legs quite close to the ground, and that's with this little thing here. So just pushing the leg in, pull that up, and you can feel it locking into different widths. So you have to release it and then snap it back into place so it's locking into a wider stance. The next thing to look at is the pan handle. This is tucked into the body. To release the pan handle, there's a lever on the side, and it's actually clawed here. It's got teeth that lock into each other, so you can get a firm grip and the pan handle doesn't slip. You want to make sure that when you loosen this and pull it up, you're not grinding these teeth. So you bring it up to a position that seems initially workable. Find the position you want and lock it into place. The pan handle sits at the back, so this is the back of the tripod. That's a good way to remember which way to position the camera lens. You have two adjustments with the fluid head tripod. You can see that it's extended, but because I may have adjusted these not exactly, to get this level, there's a screw at the base, so this head can come off completely. And Miller tripods, which is this tripod, you can mix and match. Legs and heads are separate items, and you can mix and match. So we've got these lightweight legs and this fluid head. So what I wanted to show you there is that they are separate. To get that straight, to get it level, there is a spirit level here on the body of the fluid head. By loosening this a little bit, I can wiggle that around to sit the little spirit ball in the circle, center that, and tighten it off. And now I know that fluid head is square. So basically you generally want your camera to be sitting parallel with the horizon. There are sort of aesthetic decisions you can make with that. You may want a Dutch tilt, which is a deliberate tilt within your shot, so you have the option. Okay, so we've got it set up, and you can see there's a bit of movement here, both tilting and panning. So these are locked off. These can be released and locked off by levers. So there's a lever here, and that's your tilt lock. By loosening that, I can move, and you can feel that there's a little bit of resistance, and it tends to move back, and that's the fluid motion. You also have a level of resistance or tension. So if I put that on 1, then the tension of my tilt is fairly soft. If I tighten that to 2, I've got a little bit more resistance. It's actually quite bouncy. It's a bit bouncier. So let's go back to 1. And you see that movement moves a little slowly. It's a fine difference, but may be useful for different type of moves you want. It gives you a little bit more control over your tilting speed and the smoothness of the tilt. So to lock off, that's your lock for the tilt. This lever here at the front is our lock to release and lock in the pan movement. So panning is the camera moves left to right, right to left, in line with the horizon. So it's moving across that horizontal axis. And once again, that's your locking mechanism there. Lock it in place, unlock it, release, shift the camera around, lock it back in place. So they're the basic functions of a fluid head tripod. Very simple. So it's giving you a choice in height, in vertical motion, and in horizontal and vertical. To release the plate, there's both the lever on this side and there's a safety button on this side. If I release the lever, the plate can move, but it's not going to slide out, which is a safety function, meaning you put your camera on the plate, pop it onto the stage of the tripod, and you can be assured that it's not going to slide out. To release the plate, push in that white button and the plate comes off completely. Looking at the plate, it's got these rubber runners on either side, so the camera sits on that, and we have this screw on the bottom. Cameras have it's a 1/4 inch screw, and that screws into the bottom of the camera. If we look at the camera, all cameras have this screw hole, so that's where we attach our tripod screw. This is just like a flathead screw in there, so you need some device to tighten it. To put the plate on the bottom of the camera, you'll need a 10-cent piece or a similar object. A flathead screwdriver would do as well. Find the threaded 1/4 inch hole on the bottom of the camera, and it's a 1/4 inch screw that is a standard tripod screw. Because I like doing this on a surface where the camera is supported and I can concentrate on the 10-cent piece and putting the screw in properly, is popping the screw into the screw hole on the base of the camera and tightening that down. Now you probably think this is really basic and simple, and indeed it is. The important thing that I'm showing you here is, at this point, it's really important to get the plate tight on the camera, because you don't want that camera plate swiveling. If that is firm and straight on the bottom of the camera, once you get the camera back on top of the tripod, the stage here, when you're panning and tilting, you can be assured that the camera is firmly fixed to your tripod plate and is not going to be swiveling itself. So all the movement, you have control of all the movement through the fluid head of the tripod. To put that on, holding the camera, slide in from the back of the stage. You can hear that click. So I know that that safety catch has dropped back into place. Still holding the camera, I can tighten that lever, and only then, when I'm sure that the camera is firmly and locked into place, do I let go of the camera. That's important to make sure the camera is secure. The other thing is, while you are setting up your shot, make sure your pan and tilt are locked off. If this was a camera with a massive lens, a heavy lens, and the tilt mechanism wasn't locked off, there would be a tendency for the camera to pull the weight of the tripod head forward, and that may create an imbalance, and it makes the camera vulnerable. So always, if you are moving away from the tripod, finishing the setup for your scene, etc., lock off, tilt particularly, and pan. There is a little hook here, somewhere here, so you can add weight to your tripod to give it some ballast, and that will prevent legs being kicked out, or you can put sandbags around the legs. So that's the camera safely on the tripod, and that's basically what I wanted to show you today. To remove it, release the locking button here and the lever, and that's things to do at the same time. Pushing that in, release the lever and pull the plate back out with the camera. Take it over to my support table, 10-cent piece, release the screw, and importantly, when you are packing up, you'll probably be, pressed for time. Make sure the camera plate comes off the bottom of the camera and back into the tripod. Of course, the tripod is useless without the plate. So if it goes back into the store and doesn't have its plate, the next person won't be able to use it. Thanks for watching the video. Catch you next time.